Cal Raleigh, catcher for the Seattle Mariners, and he leads all of baseball in home runs and RBIs. 2025 is obviously a career season, but he's had home runs before. Each of the last 3 seasons, he's led all catchers 27 homers, then 30, then 34, and he joins us now. Cal, what's different this year as opposed to the last couple of years?
I think really just me trying to be consistent at the plate and not, going up and changing a bunch of things mid-season, trying to, go down rabbit holes. So, even if I do have a bad game or two, just really trying to stay within myself and my approach and focus on what I can do rather than what the pitcher's trying to do to me.
How often do you go up to the plate trying to hit a home run?
Well, usually when I do, it doesn't work out very well. So it's, you know, I guess the old saying, it kind of happens by accident. So, pitchers, you got to take advantage of the mistakes when they do. And I'm just trying to square it up and hit it through the middle of the field.
You're in there with some pretty famous people here. Like when you look at what you've accomplished, the number of players to reach 30 home runs before the end of June: Babe Ruth, Ken Griffey Jr., Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, Albert Pujols, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge. Pretty good list there.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very fitting for my name.
But how do you embrace this, that you belong? This shouldn't be viewed as who is this guy and where did he come from?
Um, you
Like,
know,
are you surprised at how great you have played this year?
I mean, you always want to have that confidence as a baseball player going into the box. You want to feel like you're the best player in the world, right? But I think, the real side of it. No, I don't. It's hard to kind of fathom. Especially when you rattle off names like that. So, anytime you're in that kind of company with hearing those names, you're doing something pretty good. So, really just trying to keep my head down and try to keep going. Not really trying to think about that too much and just trying to see how far I can go.
Do you get recognized outside of Seattle?
Outside of Seattle,
Yeah.
not very much, no. uh, Sometimes, yeah,
But
but
you could walk out of your hotel in Arlington right now
oh yeah, easy.
and go anywhere. You could go to lunch. You could wear your jersey. You could wear your full uniform, and people might not realize who you are.
Yeah, it's just a pretty average looking dude. So
But
I'm
you,
not, Aaron Judge. He's a pretty big dude. You can kind of recognize him. Not me quite so much.
okay, but you got a great nickname.
I think it's one of the better ones. So
Okay, when you first heard it, who gave you that nickname?
so Jared Kelenic, we came up through the minors. He played with us for a couple years with the Braves now. He tweeted it out as soon as I debuted, and um, you know, I think people thought it was really funny at first, and then
Wait, but
but
what leads him to call you the Big Dumper?
so I have a big butt, and that's it's kind of been a running thing since I've been in high school. It's just kind of been it's like wow, he just just kind of sticks out like that guy's got a really big butt, and he was always commenting on it in the minor leagues, and then obviously get called up, and that happens. Didn't really play well, and then started playing well, and people just kind of like took off with it. They loved it. They thought it was really funny, and Seattle's kind of made it their kind of thing. So
So it's kind of a Kim Kardashian thing, It's
yeah, kind of like that.
kind of like your calling card there. Is there a sponsorship here with the Big Dumper?
No, I mean not yet. I mean we'll see what's out there. Maybe getting on this show, maybe we'll get
How
some love.
about Dude Wipes?
Dude wipes would be a good one. It
Um,
kind of fit right.
Toto toilets.
There you go. Any kind of bidet,
Yeah,
something.
well,
Yeah,
yeah. Your agent should be doing this for you.
I know you should. They should be on it after the show, shouldn't they?
Yes, I mean this is a big deal there.
Big opportunities.
We're talking to Cal Raleigh, the Mariners catcher. Who was your idol, or who did you kind of pattern yourself? Since you're a switch hitting catcher, not many of those.
Yeah, you're right. There's not a lot of those. I'd say I grew up a diehard Red Sox fan, so Jason Varitek was kind of my guy growing up.
Have you met him?
Yeah, I've got to meet him a few times. He's on staff with the Sox right now, so I got to chat with him a little bit. But yeah, I loved him. Obviously, him being a switch hitter, catcher, and him having the C on his chest, as the captain was a really cool thing growing up, and just somebody I idoled and or was my idol, and it was great to watch. And I watched a bunch of other catchers as well. Posey, Molina. Those are some really good ones as well. But Veritek's the one that sticks out.
I was wondering if there's any correlation between being a catcher and being a good hitter because you're so used to seeing pitches that you call for these pitches. You know what it looks like, the spin, change up, how it comes out of the hand. Is there any correlation there of helping you as a hitter by being a catcher?
Yeah, I mean, I believe so. I mean, I think as a catcher, I spend most of my time doing scouting reports, talking with pitchers about how they want to attack hitters, going over their weaknesses. So I think you can kind of flip flop that and use that as an advantage as a hitter, and you can kind of think along sometimes with other catchers and other pitchers and see how they're attacking you and go off the patterns and past how they pitched you. So it's taken some time to kind of learn how to do that, but so I'd say that it definitely helps being a catcher because you can understand that part of it a little bit. But at the end of the day, you still got to go out and put a good swing on the ball and find something in the heart of the plate.
How do you feel when the pitch you call for is hit for a home run?
You don't feel good. I mean, because
Do you apologize? Have you apologized to your pitcher, gone out to the mound?
yeah, because sometimes, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's all about execution. When it's coming out of the pitcher's hand, but there are some times where you're like, maybe I messed that one up, or I think it just goes hand in hand as a battery. As a pitcher and catcher, you're working together, and sometimes you mess up, sometimes you get it right, and it's just kind of how it goes as the catcher. You wear some of those a little harder than others, depending on the situation and depending on what you called. So sometimes it's on the pitcher, sometimes it's on the catcher, and it's just kind of how it goes.
How long are you allowed to admire a home run that you've hit?
I think you can take a good look at it, but you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to take too long, and you don't want to show anybody up on the opposing side. And next thing you know, one of your teammates is getting thrown at, or you're getting thrown at. So,
But once you get past first base, Cal.
oh, I have a pretty decent jog. I don't take too much time around the bases. I just you got to show love to the bullpen because they're rooting you on out there. So you give them a little point, and then you cross home and you go get the gear on. That's kind of how it goes.
What's a home run sound like?
I mean, typically they sound pretty loud. Usually, when you get them good, you don't. It doesn't feel like you hit anything. It just kind of feels like it was just like a smooth swing, of almost like a dry hack. So it feels good. And when you get it sweet, though, it's pretty loud. The crack of the bat.
And what's the stolen bases? What do you got? 9 stolen bases?
Yeah, I got 9 this year.
Are
Yeah,
you
no,
deceptively fast?
sneaky.
Are you? Oh, you're sneaky fast.
Sneaky fast. I think I broke the record. Our manager, he was the catcher for a while with the Mariners, Stan Wilson, and he held the record for a catcher in the org, and I broke it this year. And I thought about doing the whole Ricky, just hold the base up over my head, sign it for him after the game.
Today, I'm the greatest
That's right.
of all time. Did they give you the bag after you set the organizational record for stolen bases?
No, that wasn't. Unfortunately, it was only like 7, so it wasn't a whopping number.
uh, Johnny Bench, to me, is the greatest catcher I ever saw, and he's very impressed with you. Has some great things to say about you. That's the highest praise I think you could get because Bench was a great athlete, power hitter, and I think the greatest defensive catcher of all time. So,
Yeah, that's. I mean, getting that kind of love from him and what he said was, it means the whole world to me. So I got to meet him this year at the Gold Glove banquet, and
oh, cool.
got to talk with him for a couple hours and just sit and talk ball with him, and it was just amazing hearing the stories and getting to chat with him was awesome.
Well, great to talk to you. Good luck. I think you're second in the MVP race, according to my odds this morning. I've got Aaron Judge and then you. So
I appreciate that.
I mean, that's not bad. Not bad company here.
Just try to keep going.
Yeah. All right. Well, you can stay anonymous, maybe just walking around, but not when you come to the plate. So continue to do that, and let's work on a sponsorship there, Cal.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on.
All right. That's Cal Raleigh. You can call him the Big Dumper. He's fine with that.